y'all, welcome back to the Draper Bunch Adventures. My name is Carol. If you're new here, we're so glad that you're here. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, give us a big thumbs up, let us know you were here today. If you haven't clicked on the bell for notifications, please make sure you do that. We like to talk about homeschooling. We are a family of 5 and we homeschool our 3 children. And the other thing that we love to talk about is Disney cruising, because it is our favorite type of family adventure to take. We try to present information, or I try to present information to you about the cruising from kind of the first-time cruiser standpoint, because there were a lot of things that were overwhelming and I was unsure about the first time we went on a Disney cruise. And so I like to give information that I feel like answers a lot of questions. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups about Disney cruising, and I see a lot of people ask some of the same questions over and over again. And so I try to make videos on information that I see that is frequently asked for by people, maybe that are first-time cruisers or that haven't been on a Disney cruise in a long time and maybe it's changed or whatever. So that is what I try to provide for you. So if you haven't watched any of my other Disney cruise videos and you're planning a Disney cruise or getting ready to take your first Disney cruise, or maybe you haven't taken a Disney cruise in a long time, go check out some of our other videos. I try to be very thorough and informational because I'm very much a list maker, check off the list. I consider myself to be a pretty organized person, so I like to be detail oriented. So anyway, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about food. Yum, 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 yum. So one of the most exciting things about going on a cruise is all the different food that you get to experience while you're there. But sometimes there are questions about, where can I go to eat during the day? What's available? What costs extra? What doesn't? So let's talk a little bit about the Disney Cruise Line and their food options and how that dining for dinner time works, because they do something called rotational dining, and many people don't understand how that works, because I've heard that it doesn't work the same on other cruise lines as it does on Disney. So I'm going to explain that briefly to you today a little bit. So let's talk about all the options that are included in the cost of your cruise. I may have left out something. If you have been on a Disney cruise and you think of something that I don't mention, please leave it in the comments below, because I'm sure the viewers would love to see anything that I may not have thought of listing. I'm not going to try to name every single one because they're different on the different ships, so I will give you just a general kind of overview. So the first thing that is included in the cost of your Disney cruise are counter service options. Many of those are located by the pool, on the same deck as the pool, and they have ones like Flo's Diner and Pete's Boiler Bites, something like that. That's on the Wonder. I haven't been on that ship yet. But all those counter service options are included in the cost of your cruise, and they serve foods like cheeseburgers, french fries, chicken tenders, pizza. There are ice cream machines on that deck as well, where you can get free soft serve, and they change the flavors every day. So there are lots of those types of foods that are available. A couple of the ships have shawarma. I think that's the Wonder and the Magic that have the shawarma station, where you can get that, which is yummy and delicious. We tried that on our cruise on the Magic. So there are a lot of counter service options available during the day, and usually late into the evening, where you can get different types of food. If you have food allergies, make sure that you let Disney know that ahead of time. Make sure that you go as soon as you get on the ship and talk to the dining folks, because they will be able to make sure that you have options available in your dinner time rotation, of course. And then when you go to some of the counter service options, if you tell them that you're gluten-free or dairy-free, many times they have an alternative or can make food specifically for you around your allergies. I'm not a super big expert on that because I don't have any food allergies. My family doesn't have any food allergies, but I have heard people talk about that. So rest assured that if you have those allergies, I know they definitely can accommodate you. Another option for food on the cruise line that is included in the cost of your cruise is Cabanas. Cabanas is a buffet restaurant. I like to say that it's not a typical buffet restaurant, because you don't go in and get a plate and go in line, you know, buy all the things. Most of the seasoned cruisers on Disney get a little irritated kind of when people do that, but you just get your plate and kind of go to whatever station you want to and get the food that you want from there. But Cabana serves breakfast. Many people go there for breakfast. They serve lunch And they also sometimes serve dinner. That's not always the case, but many times they also serve dinner. So if you don't want to go to your main dining room for dinner, you can go to Cabanas sometimes. You want to make sure you check your navigator. They have paper copies available at guest services, and they have the Disney Cruise Line app will have the navigator available to you for free on the ship, where you can get on your phone on the app and you can see the schedule of events for the day. That includes dining, so it will tell you if you can get dinner in Cabanas. It will tell you where all the character meet and greets. It gives you all the information you need for scheduling your day, including dining. So it will tell you if Cabanas is serving dinner or not. So at dinner time, Cabanas is not a buffet though. It is a sit-down dinner. That's my understanding. We've never done that, but that's something that we want to try on our next cruise. So Cabanas has breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is included in your cruise. And then another thing that's included in the cost of the cruise is if you go to the adult lounges and bars, if you go to Cove Cafe, which is the coffee shop, they often have food there that is included in the cost of your cruise. Now, if you go buy adult beverages or you go to Cove Cafe and buy specialty coffees, those are extra charge. But the food that is there is not extra charge. So you can go into Cove Cafe and get pastries, and those are not extra charge, but the coffees and the beverages are extra charge. So that's just a great place to get snacks if you want them. Another great option for food on the Disney cruise that is included in the cost is room service. So you can order room service. There are some options in the room service menu that do cost money, but there's not a lot of those. Most of the things on the room service menu are free. The things that cost extra are like specialty coffees, I think sodas, I can't remember what else off the top of my head, but it was just a few things. There weren't very many. You can get things like chicken tenders, cake of the day, which is not listed on the menu, but you should ask for it if you order room service. And then all you need to do is when they bring your room service to you, just tip whoever brings it. It's customary to give them a little bit of a tip. We usually just gave a couple of dollars depending on how much we ordered. But we found the service to be fast and the food to be good, and our kids really enjoyed being able to get a Mickey bar or warm cookies and milk via room service, and all that is included in the cost of your cruise. So that's another great way to get food. If you want to just hang out in your room, you can definitely order room service and watch some Disney movies. So those are all of the options that are included in the cost of your cruise. And let's talk about dinner a little bit. So the ship has each of the 4 ships have 3 main dining rooms. All 4 ships have Animator's Palette, and then the rest of the restaurants vary by ship. So for example, the Magic has Lumiere's, Rapunzel's Royal Table, and Animator's Palette. The Fantasy has Royal Palace, Animator's Palette, and Enchanted Garden. So they have a couple of, the restaurants are kind of similar, but they're named a little differently. And then each restaurant, the Magic and the Wonder have specific themed restaurants. The Wonder has Tiana's Place, and then the Magic has Rapunzel's Royal Table. So, and the Fantasy and the Dream have the 3 restaurants, but they all have Animator's Palette, and then they each have 2 other restaurants as well. And those main dining rooms, usually one of those main dining rooms is open on embarkation day, that you can go and sit down and have lunch instead of going to Cabanas if you would like. One of those main dining rooms is usually open for breakfast every day. You can check that personal navigator on the app or via paper to find out which restaurant is open for breakfast, and it gives the times on there. Those main dining rooms, usually there's one of them that is open for lunch on the ship during the day. So if you don't want to go to Cabanas and get lunch, or you don't want to go to the counter service, you can actually go sit down for lunch. Just make sure you check the navigator for which restaurant is open and what the times are for that. And then for dinner, you're actually do something called rotational dining. And what they do is when they give you your Key to the World card, I'm going to hold mine up, and close to the big P that you're going to see, there's a string of letters. It's really tiny, so I'm going to hold it up and hopefully you can see it. You can see right there. There is a string of letters on there on your Key to the World card that you get when you check in for your cruise. That string of letters will tell you which restaurant you're going to eat at every night. And then also on there that I didn't show you is right here. It has table 47. So they assign you a table number, and they assign you a set of servers, and those servers will go with you each night to every restaurant that you go to. So they rotate you through the restaurants each night. So for example, on our 5-night cruise, we went to Rapunzel's Royal Table, and then we went to Lumiere's, and then we went to Lumiere's again, and then we went to Animator's Palette, and then Animator's Palette. And what happens is when you go to the restaurant you're assigned to, you will go to that table number, the same table number every night in each restaurant. So we went to table 47 in every restaurant that we went to. And if you go at your assigned time, they will escort you to your table, and you will have the same servers every time. So for the first night, we had our servers in Rapunzel's Royal Table. When we went to Lumiere's the next night, we also sat at table 47 and had the exact same servers. So you have the exact same servers the entire time throughout your cruise. So that is how the rotational dining works. And they have the menus usually posted in the navigator for dinner, so you can kind of look on there ahead of time and get an idea of what you might want to order. If you would like to do that, I like to kind of look ahead and kind of think about maybe what I might want to eat. And so that is the dinner options. But of course, you can always go to counter service or room service. If Cabanas is open, you can go there for dinner as well. There are a lot of other options if you choose not to go to your assigned dining rotation for the evening. So those are all the types of food that are included. If your cruise makes a stop at Castaway Cay, Disney's private island, all the food on the island is included as well. So they actually take the crew from the ship onto the island to run. They have 2 barbecue joints, Cookies 1 and Cookies 2, and then on the adult only part of the island, Serenity Bay, they also have another barbecue location as well for adults only. So all of those are included in the cost of your cruise, and then they have ice cream stations on the island as well. So all that's included. Sometimes people ask if sodas are included. They do have drink stations on the same deck as the pool and the counter service options for the ships, and all of those drinks are included as well. And their sodas, you can bring your own refillable bottle if you want to put more drink in. The cups that they have there are kind of small. If you like to drink more, then you might want a bigger cup. And the same thing holds true on Castaway Cay. They do have drink stations there as well, where you can get drink whenever you want. So all of that is included. There are some food things on the ships that you pay extra for. There are adult dining experiences. Palo is on all 4 ships, and you can have brunch or dinner there. Those require advanced reservations. They do have a dress code, and it is an extra cost. It's $40 per person, I believe, for Palo brunch or Palo dinner. It's the same price for both, I think. I can speak from experience that we have done both of those, Palo brunch and Palo dinner. They are both amazing. So I highly recommend doing that experience as well. And really, for what you get, the cost is very reasonable in my opinion. You would definitely want to make sure you tip the servers there, because they're not included in your standard gratuities that you're charged in your cruise. Another adult dining experience that has an upcharge is Remy. It is only on the Fantasy and the Dream, and so you can do, they have a brunch and a dinner there as well. We have not done Remy. Remy, I don't know the cost of the brunch. I'm not sure if it's the same price as the dinner or not. I did not look that up before I came on the camera today. I'm sorry. But I do know that the dinner, I think, is $125 per person at Remy. So, again, it's a Michelin star chef cooking. So I think it's probably more than worth the cost if you like to do fine dining that way. But it does require reservations for the brunch or dinner at Remy. And it does have a dress code. Palo and Remy both have dress codes. So make sure that if you want to do those things, you try to book them ahead of time, and make sure that you pay attention to what the dress code is so that you're prepared for that as well. So those are an upcharge. Another thing that is an upcharge is the Fantasy has an ice cream shop named Sweet on You, and the Dream has an ice cream shop named Vanellope's, or a sweet shop, I guess I should say, because it has more than just ice cream in it. It has all kinds of treats in it. Both of those shops do. We have not been in either one of those yet, but those are also an upcharge. So, but I think they look pretty cool and pretty yummy. So I don't know anything about the prices for that, but I do know that they cost extra. So if you plan on visiting Sweet on You or Vanellope's, those will cost you extra money. So those are the things that I can think of about dining on the cruise ships. There is always plenty of food everywhere. You really don't have to spend anything extra on food and drink while you're on a Disney cruise unless you choose to. Of course, if you choose to have alcoholic beverages or visit those specialty adult dining areas or the sweet shops, you would definitely have to pay for that. The coffee beverages in Cove Cafe also cost extra, so you would definitely have to pay for those as well. But you could really get everything you would want and need pretty much anywhere else on the ship that's included in the cost of your ship. So I hope this was pretty comprehensive. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words and rambling now, and I don't mean to. I hope that answered your questions. If you have any other questions about Disney cruise dining, leave those in the comments below, and myself, I will try to answer them, and if I can't answer them, maybe one of the other viewers can. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this answered any questions that you have. If there's anything you'd like me to make a future video on about Disney cruise, about taking a Disney cruise, please leave that in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, let us know you were here. Please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell for notifications, and we will see y'all real soon.